I think surrogacy is amazing because it changes everyone involved. It changes their whole life. And the compensation's huge, but at the end of it, like every surrogate says, they started it for the compensation, but they keep going back because they loved that relationship. And it's a weird desire after doing it once that you're like, I want to do it again and give somebody that again. I'm Breana. I'm a 2-time surrogate and a mother of 2. I've been married to my high school sweetheart for 15 years now. So I was a teen mom. I had my oldest when I was 18, and then I had my second when I was 19, and I knew at that point that I would be done having children. And I actually heard from a friend of my husband who was telling him about his wife doing surrogacy, and he came home to tell me about it, and I was like, what is that? And I looked it up, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I can stay at home, because I stayed at home with my boys, but I didn't really get to contribute to the family, really, other than staying home with them and taking care of them. So I thought it would be ideal to be able to stay home and make money and be pregnant since I was so young. I did my first surrogacy at 21 and then my second at 23. And so it was just, I carried pregnancies really well, and I was like, let's just do it. So delivery day was super exciting. She had a book that was like what to expect when you're expecting, and she had it like tagged with so many sticky notes and like highlights, and the book was so fat from like all these like notes that she took from it. I think it was, for me, I was so excited to see them because we've been talking about it for so long. But I think when the moment came, I think they like actually panicked that it was real, because they were like standing still and not moving and like not know what to do. They've never really had babies around them, but it became actually a really good part of our relationship, was like teaching them to become parents, because they lived with me for 2 months after the baby was born. So it was nice to see them become parents, you know. An unexpected joy that I've had during my journey was just the bond that I had with the intended mother. I felt like it wasn't a normal surrogate NIP bond. It was like, and it wasn't like a sister bond either. It was like more, I couldn't explain it. I feel like the way we explained it was like we shared the love for this baby, like only us two. And so it was like really, I'm gonna cry. But it was just emotional because we both loved her so much. And so she knew that I was the only other person in the whole world that loved her just as much as her. And so that would probably be the biggest joy. The compensation changed, I think, our whole trajectory in life, because we were so young and we were like, we're never gonna be able to buy a house in San Diego. It's like impossible. And so when we did our first surrogacy, we paid off all of our credit card debt, which I think back then we thought it was a lot, but it was like $5,000. So it seemed like a lot to us. But then we put a down payment on like a townhome. And that, I think that move in San Diego at that time was like perfect, because then like market like skyrocketed, and then we made so much money off selling that little condo that was like 600 square feet or something, like tiny. We made like 70 grand off selling it, and then we were able to buy this house. And we would have never been able to do that without the surrogacy, but it just opened up the whole world. And then I got into surrogacy as a career, which, having a high school diploma with no college degree, and then being able to like move up in companies and become an IVF coordinator and an operations manager at an agency, and like the things that I've been able to experience because of surrogacy in my career has also like been huge. I don't know what I would have done without being in like a surrogacy career. So it definitely changed things. If you're like wanting to nerd out on surrogacy and learn everything and make it a career and a passion, there's so much room for growth in the industry.
Are you proud of yourself for doing surrogacy?
I am. I'm proud of myself for being a surrogate at such a young age and accomplishing all that I have. And I think surrogacy definitely changed me, because I did it so young. So I feel like it was just like, it made me mature like really quickly. I think that doing surrogacy and seeing how the other side lives, I was like, I want to be able to like afford things like and buy my kids cars and like do these things that this like other side of the world like gets to do, that I'm like, we're living in like a 600 square foot apartment. Like I want to do this. Like, so it definitely changed everything, I think, for me. Surrogacy is amazing for a lot of people. It can change their life.